to get a bit more into the game in that third quarter and even up the contest, so I'm backing him to run over the top here.
Magpies by 15 points, start of the final term, and the Maggies with the clearance once again. Scott Duncan towards centre half-forward, but the steadfast Ringwood defence stands up tall, and Shamrock does just that with a high mark. It was uncontested. He looks out wide, looking for the intended target in his teammate Cairns. Couldn't quite take it, but they have the runners out the back. Mitch Farmer streams forward, kicks into the pocket. It's a good delivery. It's a good mark too to Jordanov, and he can go back. He's deep in the pocket. Yeah, I think he did get winded. He's just on his haunches.
No. Is it the fence or is someone giving him one?
Oh, no,
I think he would cop one.
It's before the fence, yeah.
So Jordanov, who was very promising early in the game, kicked 2 in that first quarter, hasn't kicked one since. He's probably replacing Trent Farmer as that key post as a focal point up forward. He's deep in the pocket. It's an acute angle. It'll go across the face of goal, and it's touched over the line by Bronze Geese. We'll have a throw in deep inside the forward pocket for the pressing Ringwood side. Frosty, who are you tipping from this point onwards?
It really comes down to the mindset of Scoresby. I think if they want to win and they take the game on, they will win. If not, I think Ringwood will run over the top of them.
Deep in the forward pocket for the Redbacks. Diezo won the tap. Chadwick, composed, cool in a crisis, gets the hand pass out to his teammate there in Wade McConnell, who looked him forward. It was probably very costly because Thompson was claimed. Ringwood have a chance, and it's holding the ball. It's going Scoresby's way, and the recipient will be Wade McConnell deep inside the defensive 50 for the Maggies.
McConnell switches the play and finds Bronze Geest. He'll come out, he'll want the left boot, and he does it. Just chips it over top to DSO. DSO handballs to the running Jones, who handballs inboard to Williams, who's very much high up the ground. His left foot snap around the body is a clever one, though. And it's found its target there in Walker, who marks Mitch Walker. He's been pretty good today. He'll handball over the top to Jones. He's missed his target by hand. Jones does well to keep it in. Runs past Power, and he's going to go inside 50s. He knows the kick smothered by Burmeister, and the hack off the ground by Jones is gathered by Jackson. Jackson goes back to Shamrock, who handballs it across there to Greason, whose left foot kick across the ground is looking for and missing its target, but Cairns does well on hands and knees, and I don't know what that bloke on the bottom's doing. He's just grabbing a leg. But we're going to have a ball up here, right half back for the Ringwood Redbacks. Bit of a sloppy opening to this this fourth term.
A few tied disposals, I think, out there.
Chadwick went up by himself and fisted it forward. Trying to slap it forward was Hicks. Handball out of there, well done by Blackburn. It's going nowhere though. Chadwick on hands and knees and Blackburn on hands and knees, just scrapping it out there on the floor. No one helping out, just a good old-fashioned one-on-one wrestle Damo, and we'll have another ball up.
I like the tackling and pressure of Scoresby have brought in the first few minutes of this quarter, though. It's completely different to their intent in the second quarter.
And they've taken the ball out this clubhouse side. They've learnt from their mistakes. As Jackson's handball goes to no one in particular, Milligan takes him on. Gave it through to Paul Chadwick, whose right foot shot at goal was missed to the left. That would have been a big one, Damo. It Scoresby 9-12-66. Ringwood 7-8-50. 3 minutes gone in this last term.
I think there was a one-on-one wrestle and a threesome in that passage of play, so it certainly
settle down, Damo. Settle down.
I'm just stating the facts. McCann to bring it back into play for the Redbacks. He looks towards the grandstand side. It's a floater off the boot. Now, was that touched by Blythe? Umpire's call will just liberate this.
Need the VAR, Damo.
I think it's going to be a free kick here to Scoresby.
Definitely touched.
No, it was touched.
BWS there chiming in, definitely touched. Thank you, Ben.
Of course,
It was almost off the boot out
on the ground
as well.
Yeah. We'll have a throw in any case. It's deep inside. Scoresby's attacking 50. Well worked there by Williams in the ruck. Threw his opponent out of the way. It'll be a secondary bounce out of the stoppage as Greg is claimed by a couple of Maggies. 16 points the margin. Scoresby in front. 4 minutes gone in this final term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. 98.1 FM or streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au as Power won the tap. Whistle from the umpire. It'll be a Ringwood free kick for holding. So Power the recipient and they're away, Ringwood.
Yep, Power short to Blythe, who's been prominent all game. Hard running wingman. And he just chips it short. Is that far enough? Umpire says yes, and Mitchell Jacobs takes the mark, and he goes short and finds Callanan. This is precise ball use, and Callanan just takes off, and he goes long, looking for Mitch Farmer. Getting back in the hole is Toby Richards. He's quite a light man, Toby Richards, but he's taken a strong mark, and he goes out towards his clubhouse side, and he's found Joel Thompson. So Thompson chips it over the top and finds a target as well. It's a good mark taken by Mitch Walker. He's been very good actually now. Walker really come into this game.
Since half-time,
yeah. As he goes shorter out wide and finds a good target here in McConnell. Inked up the left arm and the right leg is McConnell. So some precise ball movement from both sides as McConnell goes down the line, looking for the big men. Power sets himself under it and spoiling it out of bounds, though, is Calvin Gregg, and we'll have a throw in. Basically where we started that whole transition of play there, Damo, on right half-back for the Ringwood Redbacks.
Scoresby will be happy with that, though. A minute passes by and no gained meterage for Ringwood. We'll have a ball back into play once again. Power's been excellent in the ruck all day. Won the tap. And Dite takes advantage.
Oh,
now that
on the line.
Bounced on the line. So it'll be a throw in on true centre wing in front of the Scoresby faithful.
Dan Tensing wants deliberate.
Yeah,
he wants deliberate. He reckons Dite was going the line.
Well, they didn't pay one earlier in the game,
No.
which was borderline deliberate. So at least the umpires are consistent. So we'll have a throw in again, right in front of the Scoresby faithful at Scoresby Recreation Reserve. Diezzo won the tap, and it's Ringwood with the clearance through Farmer. Sends a high ball inside the 50. Scoresby have the numbers of defenders at the back of the pack. Bronski's evaded a couple of tacklers, and on the left foot looks out wide and finds Joel Thompson, who's on the run. They're off and running the Magpies towards the outer wing. Grierson, probably the only one back there. There was no real target for the Magpies up forward, so he has time to stop, prop and assess the options. Sends the hand pass back, and Blythe will be the target at centre half back. The ball eludes him. He can take it just inside the line on the grandstand side. He looks towards true centre wing and finds a target precisely in Jacobs. Jacobs marks, and Ringwood will have the attack. 25-metre penalty awarded.
And Jacobs is going to come. He's just outside of range. Sully going with the 25-metre that time. He drills the ball, Jacobs into the pocket looking for the target there in Hill. But he's just scrubbed it off the inside of the boot and it's going to bounce out for a boundary throw in here. Deep in Redbacks forward 50. They need the first goal.
It's sloppy, the ball movement so far in this quarter.
Inside forward 50 it has been. Up until that it's been okay, but it's tossed in. So Hill and DSO. DSO wins the tap. Callanan's there, as is Thompson. Callanan tries to burst through, but he's wrapped up by Chadwick, who's been one of Scoresby's best players all day. And Callanan come into the game in this second half. So Morgan's going to toss it up again, umpire Morgan. DSO and Hill. DSO just wins the tap with ease. Brushed him aside. Dite's on top of the footy. Knocking it as Jonathan Roberts. Chadwick's dragged it in. And the umpire says, I didn't see that, mate. We'll just ball it up. So we haven't moved anything, Damo. We're still inside the forward 50 of the Redbacks.
Yeah, they certainly are pressing. They need that first goal of the term, as you mentioned. Diezzo won the tap. Ooh, bit of action there.
He's sitting atop him.
He was sitting right on his face there. I wouldn't want to be in that position.
No, not Daniel Deso. He's a big man.
Throw in. Ball up, 45 out from goal. Jordanov wins the tap. Chance for the Redbacks. McConnell on hands and knees forces it out of play along with Dite. We'll have a throw in 20 metres around from the Ringwood goal. They're pressing.
Well, it's been about 2.5 minutes, Damo, and we haven't moved.
Well, certainly haven't moved in terms of ball travel. Certainly some of the players have moved in their one-on-one tackling. Diezzo won the tap, and it's gone straight over the line once again.
It's been massive in the last couple of minutes.
They've chewed up 8 minutes here, Scoresby.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Ringwood kicking with the breeze, so that's probably a big win for them at the moment. Ringwood yet to hit the scoreboard.
Have Ringwood been in this position this season where they've needed a late flurry late in the game?
Think against the Basin. Think against the Basin.
Well, it's relatively foreign to them, that's for sure. But Cotton's claimed in a tackle after winning the palm down from Diezzo. We'll have another bounce.
They're defending very well here, Scoresby.
Umpire Morgan putting his hand up.
Time.
So DSO's been massive in these last few minutes. McConnell's got a bit of a cork, but the umpire says, let's move it on. Jordanov jumps from the side, won the tap down. There's Dite. Jordanov's left foot kicks, hurried out. It's a good mark by Crawsick there. On the go, he just played on, gave it to Jones, who's going to run around onto the left boot. Don't think he wants it, he doesn't. He handballs through and finds McConnell. McConnell steps inside one and goes along down the line looking for Hicks. He's got Lang on him, and Lang does really well. That's a good mark by Scott Lang. He's been massive all day for the Redbacks. Hicks holds him up a little bit. He had Jackson short, did Lang, ignored it. Going to have to go long now, you'd suggest. Called to play on, swings on the left boot and pops it up to centre forward. There's a lot of Magpies around this. McConnell jumped, dropped the mark. Dite wrapped him up. And then have another ball up. 35 out from the Ringwood goal. That's a costly drop down to the boundary line there with BWS.
I know Barry doesn't have a headset this afternoon, so I just wanted to let everyone know that Richmond's beaten Collingwood by 28 points in front of 88,000 at the G.
Wow.
Well, Tigers get up in front of a huge crowd. Can the Magpies of Scoresby resurrect some sort of vengeance on the Redbacks as that taps one down by Jared Hicks, and we're moving nowhere. So,
A bit pedestrian this final.
it's almost been 10 minutes. The Magpies congesting it. Jordanov won the tap. McConnell dropped that ball as well. Jackson didn't have it. No free kick. Umpires have put the whistle away a little bit. What did you think about McConnell's drop mark there, Frosty? Is that lack of communication?
Oh, it's just panic under pressure, I think. But every player here is in Ringwood's half of the ground.
So Jordan off flies with Hicks. Hicks won the tap. Coming through hard was Callan, and he couldn't get it. Hands and knees and handballing it out there was Hicks. McConnell's kick. Good tackle. Jackson swings onto the right boot. Hooks around the corner. It's a goal! Redbacks get one out of there, out of the congestion. It's a great tackle coming through. I think it was Atwell who's back on the ground after his yellow card. McConnell spilt the ball. Jackson, look at that, opportunistic onto the right boot. He kicks his first for the day. The Redbacks are 8-8-56. They trail by 10 points. 10 minutes gone in this last term.
It was just that hesitation, wasn't it, from McConnell? He had the chance to kick it, probably didn't see anything upfield, just held the ball a second too long, and that's all it took.
I think the tackle probably led to the goal on that occasion.
Great tackle.
1%ers certainly win your games of footy, and Ringwood are only 10 points away from Scoresby at this stage. The game needed that goal, it must be said. 11 minutes into this final term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Magpies by 10 points, and it's Ringwood all of a sudden reignited with momentum. A high ball looking in the direction of Hill, but that's brilliantly done by that man, Bronze Geist. Takes the mark.
Almost best on ground for mine, I think, today, Bronze Geist. He's been terrific down back.
Oh, he's been a general in defence. He's at centre half back. He'll lope away towards the lateral side of the ground. The mark's been taken by Roberts. At left half back, he chips it out wide. They'll be content to slow the play down here, the Magpies. Probably still early to go back in their shell as Chadwick of the Owen variety is in possession. On the left foot, looks at the James Manson variety of kicking. Looks towards the outer wing. Ryle is at the bottom of the pack, as is Ryan Hicks, and we'll have another stoppage outer side of Scoresby Recreation Reserve. Keep an eye on those scores for you as you go local for your footy. Nutter Wadding, for those interested, are only 10 points behind Coldstream. Mitcham and Park Orchard's a good game as well in Division 2, so upsets aplenty perhaps.
And Mulgrave in front, Damo.
Yeah, Mulgrave in front of Upper Ferntree Gully. So we're in motion once again. Tap one for the Magpies by Jared Hicks. It looks as if we'll have a pedestrian stoppage again. Ryle at the bottom of the pack. Scoresby will be content with this, but Ringwood's certainly not out of it.
Yeah, their pressure's been good around the ball.
Hicks won the tap down over Power. Bursting through there and getting it was Atwell back on the ground after his yellow card. His kick smothered and Hicks is on hands and knees. He's got fired his handball out in the direction of his brother. He's missed him though. Nathan's laid a good bump though on Brown, who's just sitting atop the foot. He got to get rid of it. The umpire says ball up. Could have been tempted to ping him there though. So we've gone 12 and a half minutes here.
You can see the intent from Scoresby. You just want to tie the game down. Don't give Ringwood any space and don't allow them to get that ball movement inside forward 50.
So ball up again. Scoresby forward 50. Farmer on hands and knees. Mitchell slamming it down the line. Declan Hill comes hard. Does well to collect it. Is it out on the full? The boundary umpire says yes. It's hit his shin and got out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a free kick to the Magpies on centre wing in front of Alan Tudge and Besto. So the kick will come in. It's McConnell called to go back on his line. Besto's pretty happy with his eagle eye there. Got the big smile out. Good to see. McConnell wind up, go long inside forward 50. A lot of flyers. Scott Lang's there again. He's taken 1 million of them today for the Redbacks.
So Ringwood deep in defence. And this could be a 25-metre adjudication here.
Sully's been hot on them today.
Yes, umpire Sully. They've been relatively consistent, the umpires, this afternoon. So, in my view, a good performance from that perspective. So we're set in motion again. That's a good diving mark. Was made to work for it there. Scotty Lang at centre field. Looks towards the grandstand side. Chadwick in the road. Takes the mark. He's been brilliant. Right across the four quarters so far for Scoresby. He's at centre half back. Chips the pass. Finds Jones. He'll look inboard. It's a risky kick, but it comes off. And the mark's taken by Mark Williams, who kicked an early goal in this game. Just some around the grounds. Heath might have hit the front at the 21-minute mark against Templestowe, after they were 20 points down at three-quarter time. In the meantime, here at this game, Farmer looks into the middle for Ringwood. They desperately need a goal, but moving through is Thompson. Just arches the back, gets the hand pass onto his teammate there in Chadwick. Chadwick tries to break his way through a couple of would-be tacklers. He's gang tackled to the ground. We'll have a ball up at centre half forward.
Heath want my sure thing, Pete, never in doubt.
not what you were saying at half-time, Tim.
It's been an interesting contest, an interesting day of footy as you go local.
Yeah. We're closing in on time on here. Scoresby by 10 points. Tap down by Power. Towards his runner there in Farmer. Good handball there from Atwell. Got it through. And the kick goes long inside forward 50. Jordanov one-on-one. Dropped the mark, but he's got the sit here, Jordanov. Daniel Jordanov, what a goal! Oh my word, Brongeese wants touch, but you don't ruin the party, mate. Oh my, Jordanov one-on-one. Dropped the mark, spilled out the back, and then opportunistic toe. Oh, just chipped it over the goalkeeper. That's an absolute snag. Look at this. Brilliant goal, and the Redbacks now just 4 points behind. We've gone 15.5 minutes. Scoresby 9-12-66, lead by 4 points. Ringwood 9-8-62. The Redbacks are coming, Tim.
Yeah, it wasn't the best kick. It wasn't to his advantage at all, but I'm glad it wasn't because we made him work for it.
What a goal.
We were able to see one of the goals of the season.
Well, he was very nimble there, Jordanov. That's a Monty for one of the plays of the week, that's for sure, regardless of the result.
Surely that makes the 5.
That makes
I don't know if I can do a
difference.
whole paragraph on a goal, man.
So, still a chance in the middle here. Ringwood suddenly with their tails up and the momentum on their side as Whack is wrapped up and will have a bounce between half-forward and centre week for the Redbacks.
It'll be interesting to see if Scoresby go into their shells like we saw them do in the second quarter now that Ringwood have got a bit of a run on.
Well, they're only 4 points behind here, the Redbacks. They haven't lost a game all season long. It's in the corridor. Loose ball at the back. Trying to evade the tackle there is Brown. He's unsuccessful as umpire Sully calls for a bounce. 60 out from the Ringwood goal.
Still going one-on-one.
They've got to open it up, don't they, again?
Power's been instrumental in the ruck. He wins the tap once again. Almost a throw out there by Ryle. Not paid. Ringwood a chance now. Breaking through there is Burmeister. Gets the kick into the pocket. It's a fickle bounce. Still a chance as the ball is fisted out of the pack by the Scoresby defence. I believe that was Cal McConnon. And we'll have a throw in deep inside the forward pocket here for Ringwood.
Scoresby really had them repeat stoppages, which works well for a period of time, but in a whole quarter against a side as good as Ringwood, it's going to be hard to hold up for the whole 30 minutes.
Magpies have to score again, but it's in the Ringwood forward line as Power wins the tap down. Atwell there, got sat in the back, but no free kick. Chadwick's he's going to get pinged here. He's going to get picked. No, it's come out. Quick kick off the ground there by Diet, who's been good. Cairns can't pick it up. Thompson can for the Magpies. Steps in and out of 1 and 2 and gives it to McConnon, who gave it over the top to Jones, who gave it to Hicks, and the ruckman goes bang down the line, looking for Williams, and Gregg's going to let it go out. Is he Calvin Gregg? He's wrapped up, though, just inside the line, but umpire Sully says, give it to me here, boys. 17.5 minutes gone. It's hot now. 9-12 Scoresby. Lead Ringwood 9-8.
That was good defence from the Magpies.
It was great work from Joel Thompson under pressure. Stepping in and out, calm. So the taps one down. Kick from Farmer to centre forward. Callanan and Thompson are there. The ball's going to hit the ground. This will suit Callanan. He does lead the race for the footy here, but he's under pressure from Thompson. Can't quite pick it up well, and when he does, Thompson wraps him up, but the handball found Harry George. He's got time and space. Kicks it over the top, looking for Jacobs. He's taken the mark. Mitchell Jacobs already kicked one today in the second term from pretty much the same spot. 25 out directly in front, and the Redbacks have a chance to hit the front again here. Ticked into the 19th minute of the last term. The Magpies haven't looked like scoring in this term, but a Paul Chadwick missed shot on goal. And if Mitchell Jacobs kicks this, all that pressure is going to pay off because the undefeated Redbacks should hit the front. Not like Nathan Hicks, who would have kicked 3 goals by now. Jacobs has gone back about 20 metres. Taking his time.
Big kick.
He's off the side screen here, Mitchell Jacobs. Trots in. Off the boot, it looks all right. It's gone straight. Look at him get around him. He likes it. That's 10-8-68. The Ringwood Redbacks, they lead Scoresby 9-12-66 as we tick into the 19th minute of this last term on EFL game day. Frosty, what do the Magpies got to do?
Well, they need to come again. That's what they need to do. They need one last roll of the dice here for them. They've probably got 7 or 8 minutes of football left. They need to score another goal to win this game of football.
They look a bit flat across the ground just looking at them at the moment.
Down to BWS on the boundary line.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Sorry, it just cut out there for a second. Just an updated score around the grounds. Mulgrave with 6 minutes to go lead Upper Ferntree Gully by 1 point, and Baronia have beaten Ferntree Gully today by 13 goals. You could cut the tension with a knife over this side of the ground.
Certainly could. That's 2 points in favour of Ringwood, but Scoresby with the clearance through Chadwick, and the mark has been taken. Going back with the flight, Walker onto the left foot, kick towards full forward.
Scotty Lang.
That man again, Scotty Lang, the Rocket Gibraltar in defence for Ringwood, takes the mark at full back, and he can settle things down for the Redbacks. Chips it short, the big man Power has been powerful all day in the ruck for the Redbacks. Looks out wide to the broadcast wing, and they can slow it down here, Ringwood. Kick towards centre wing. Intended target Farmer. Was he fouled? Yes. In the back against Thompson. And to just relieve the tension, Farmer can hang on to it for 15 seconds or so. No, he's going to wheel onto the right foot. Kicks it towards the left half forward position.
Kick.
And on the flank, the mark's been taken by Jordanov, who all of a sudden has not only qualified himself as a focal point, tall man up forward, but also a keen soccer player as well. That was a brilliant soccer goal. Ignited the Ringwood team, and he can reignite them again here with a shot from 55 out on a very acute angle. On the right foot, he's outside the arc, sends it long to the goal square. Has it got the carry? Not quite. Marked on the line by Diezzo, and away goes Scoresby on the counter-attack. Kick towards centre wing, and the mark has been taken brilliantly there by Hare, and he can slow it down for Scoresby. Wait for the runners to go towards the 450. He looks in that direction. Ringwood have the numbers in the air across their half-back line. Free kick going the Redbacks' way for holding the man, and again Ringwood relieve the tension.
Oh, it's so close. You can cut it with a knife here, Damo. Scotty Lang been massive in this last term. He's got the free kick on half-back. He goes short. Hare's going to cut this off, is he? No, Jacobs takes a strong mark. Kick that goal. They put the Redbacks in front. Darth Vader on the leg as well. Cross down to BWS on the boundary line.
Templestowe have beaten Heathmont by 3 points.
Oh no, Tim! Tim went the early crow before. Kick down the line. Jordanov puts pressure on Roberts, who knocks it out of bounds.
Lock it in, Tim. Lock it in.
Oh no, Tim. You didn't put a slab on it, did you?
Nah, lucky we...
still owe Dan.
He put his house on it instead.
He put his house on it. Dangerous
I'll
stuff.
say yours tonight.
Tossed in Ringwood side of centre wing. DSO and Power. DSO wins the tap. Chadwick couldn't get there. He's going to do his own crumbing again. Atwell did well though. Power got the handball back to Mitch Farmer, who's been good in this last term. His handball's intercepted by Chadwick. Gave it off there to McConnon. McConnon got it out wide to his brother, who goes short down the line, and he's found his target there, and Hicks, who marks it just inside the line. No, Bernie Upper says out on the full. And the Ringwood faithful love it right there. And Scotty Lang's going to have another rebound 50.
Gee, that was a big call from the boundary umpire. Laying between half-back and centre wing. Looks into the middle. Flying high for the mark was Jackson. Couldn't quite take it. The ball is loose at ground level. Power, the big man. He ducked into it perhaps. Free kick against McConnon. And Power will slow things down for Ringwood on centre wing. He's in the true position. Finds his teammate in Jacobs. Probably 70 metres, perhaps 80 metres out from the Ringwood goal. It's a congested forward line. Jacobs looks into the pocket. The high flyers contest. It falls out the back to Jordanov, who waltzes into the open goal. And Ringwood lead it by 8 points. That could be the clincher. 22 and a half minutes gone, final term. And Ringwood have an 8-point buffer. They may not lose a game at this point of the season. They're 11-8-74. Scoresby 9-12-66 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, Jordanov, he kicked 9 last week, Tim, but I reckon he'd fancy these 4 is much better.
Yeah, definitely. He's been huge in the absence of Trent Farmer. He's been massive, kicking 4 goals, 2 in this last quarter, and he's just been the difference almost between the two sides.
2 out the back as well, keeping his feet. Great call there, Damo. And the Magpies now, they've got to find something. This quarter might be shorter than all the others, of course. We haven't had as many goals.
Spot on.
Yep.
And they're going to have to do something quickly. DSO's been very good, though. Power on that tap down, though. Jackson was there, does well. Got his handball out to Mitch Farmer, who's been massive in this last term. Quick kick forward by Atwell. It's down to Jordanov again. The ball's out the back. Don't tell me. Here's Harry George. Goal, that's game. Redbacks, 12-8-80. Lead the Scoresby Magpies, 9-12-66. We've got 23 and a bit minutes here in this last term, and the Redbacks have kicked away with it now, Frosty and Tim.
3 goals out the back. Scoresby defence, they've got to be looking at this during the week and seeing how they can allow for that. Really, in the last quarter of a game, massive game, top 1v2, and they've allowed 3 goals out the back in this last quarter.
Well, with Baronia's win today, that means
they'll be back in second, I think.
Yes.
I believe so, because Scoresby had them on percentage. But of course, Baronia will still have to play Ringwood in the last round of the year, so it's still massive.
Well, we've ticked over the 24-minute mark. Umpire Sully sets us in motion again. Ringwood lead it by 14 points. Power's been excellent in the ruck all day. Won the tap, forced the clearance, but Bronski stands in the way to intercept at centre half back for the Maggies. He looks out wide. He's got a couple of running options. That'll be a free kick, you would think, against Grierson. No advantage.
No, it was a block.
No, it was a block.
Oh, already stiff there.
So Grierson, the recipient in the end, looks to centre half forward. His kick was wasteful and intercepted by Ryle. Gets it over his teammate in Jared Hicks, over the head of the intended target of Williams, who kicked a goal early on. Falls out the back. Ryle again tries to regain it, but a good smother. The Ringwood defence with solitude in this final term, and we'll have a throw in 70 out from the Scoresby goal.
They've got it. Well, they've got to kick one from this play.
Oh, if there's any chance. As you said, it's been a short quarter. Ticked over 25 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Ringwood by 14 points. Power wins the tap. It's at the half-forward line for Scoresby. Diving on top of the ball is Walker. Gets the hand pass out. Power is claimed there by Jared Hicks, and we'll have yet another stalemate.
I don't know what it feels like to BWS and Besto, but I reckon the umpires put away the whistle a bit in this last term. Down there to hear what they think.
Less than a minute to go. Mulgrave up Ferntree Gully. The line's up by 5 points.
Oh no.
We'll have to keep in touch with that one. I didn't think Mulgrave would win a game all season. In any case, Declan Hill's marked. Right foot kick into the pocket. Looks for Jordan off, who flies high. Good crumbing at the back. Chance now for the Redbacks. That kick is wasteful and out on the full. So it'll be a Scoresby free kick. Let's cross down boundary side, BWS.
12-point win to Coldstream over Nuttawading this afternoon.
Gee, that's the closest Nuttawading had been for
a long time.
Long time.
And if Mulgrave pinch it, they could be performing the miracle on grass. They'll be back with a sniff. They'll only be, I think it'll be only 2 points behind Moorabach.
Did you see that at the start of the season?
Cross down.
I didn't see it now, and we'll go down to BWS with more information.
Baldwin today defeated East Ringwood by 36.
That one's boring, BWS, but thank you. As that kick comes out from McConnon to Chadwick, who handballs to Roberts. Roberts goes short, and they're building nicely. The ball comes through to Ryle, but he's met by his match in Mitch Farmer, who just bullies him across the line. And you'd say now the Redbacks are home. Then it's a free kick to Mitch Farmer. He's about 65 out from home. He's been massive yet again, especially in this last term. His long ball to the top of the square. Jordanov might want 5. It's out the back. This is how they kick all their goals, Tim. But Thompson takes it over the line for a behind. It's 12-9-81, the Ringwood Redbacks. Massive last term. They've kicked 5 goals to Scoresby, 1 behind. They're 9-12-66.
2 Baldies combined for Scoresby. Bronze Geese to Chadwick, and now out wide a chance for Mitchell Walker, who's been good since half-time. Chips the pass to centre-half back, and the Magpies ruining this final term, that's for sure. He could have claimed an upset. It's a good mark by Crawsick. Got the hand pass away. It was ill-directed. Burmeister has taken the ground, and we'll have yet another bounce. True centre-weak position. Let's head boundary side. Ben Warren-Smith.
Roval by 103 points over Montrose this afternoon.
The Basin have also beaten Donvale.
Yeah, it's a big win, that's for sure. High kick by Chadwick towards left half forward, and out in front on the chest, Mark Williams wheels onto the right foot, kicks towards centre half forward. They had the numbers, but not the awareness there, the Scoresby forwards. And at the back, Blythe, who's been excellent all day, sees the ball over the line, deep in the forward pocket for the Magpies. We're gone 27.5 minutes. It's Ringwood by 15.
Yep, it's going to be another massive win for the Redbacks, not on just points, but on just the intensity and the challenge that they've faced. And they've done it beautifully. As the ball's thrown in, Power slaps it towards the boundary line. It should get there, and Blythe, who's run hard all day, I'd like to see how many Ks he's covered, has scored it over the line with Brad Jones.
It's amazing how the two sides have played comparing to into the wind and with the wind, because it just seems like they've played the game completely differently, doesn't it? Not that the wind has actually made that much of an effect. It's more just the mindset.
Only been the 4 goals into the wind today as Hill was tackled. That's got to be a throw umpire, doesn't it? Not paid. He's just scooped it out there towards Greason, who gave it to Blythe. Blythe steps past Richards, steps past Milligan, and there's the siren. Ringwood Redbacks remain undefeated in 2018. 12-9-81, defeating the Scoresby Magpies 9-12-66.